Does the president, Cornell Belcher, need a new White House chief of staff? Does Mr. Gibbs need to go, whether it's because he wants to make more money, or does the president need a new spokesman, a new message?
Well, look, Gibbs is a personal friend of mine. He's a great guy, and you know that they turn around chiefs. They turn around, sort of speak to those people all the time. Look, Pete's got a lot of the backing of the people who were part of the campaign. A lot of my friends who are now in the administration who were part of the campain, they love Pete. And the president, and Pete decides to stay on in that job. Pete Ross, as chief of staff, he should probably, there will be a lot of support from the people who were part of that campaign and then administration from now for him to do it, because he's a likable guy. He gets along well with people, and he's a really good manager.
Campaigns and the White House are two separate things, and that is you need somebody who can take your staff, pull them together, and drive your pieces forward. And also, how do you bring in your base? I go back to the whole notion of the Obama movement versus the moment. How do you pull in the people who put you in office? As it relates to Robert Gibbs, yes, he does need to go. I think Robert's a great guy, but I also believe that from that podium, you need somebody who can better communicate the president's policies, but also Gibbs has been an important senior advisor to the president. I think it's very difficult to have that role, a senior advisor to the president, and being the press secretary, because frankly, you're conflicted and torn. And so pull him inside, have somebody else, and Jay Carney could be a great pick.
What does it tell the Republicans? Quickly.
I got to defend Gibbs on this. You can't put all that mess that was the Democrats' messaging over the year on Gibbs. I think Gibbs was effective in saying what the president wanted him to say. He cannot take the blame for the mess that was.
There's a lot of blame to go around. But I think
as a Republican who studies what they're doing, as a Republican who studies what the other side is doing, what do you see here? What is the calculation?
It's clear two things. One, people get exhausted in the White House. They have to turn over. You need new blood. I think it makes a lot of sense for the president to be bringing in people, as Ed pointed out, people that know where the bathrooms are, that know how the place works, that understand that you got to have sharp elbows.
In Bill Daley's case, someone who has pretty good relationships with the business community and Republicans.
Yeah, and I think that having somebody as chief of staff who is not a personality in his or her own right is better, because then you have the rest of the staff that can work their magic behind the scenes.
Let me be critical really quickly here. At some point, you're not going to get change from the same group of people who keep going around in circles. So if there's one central criticism here, is if you want change, you want to do things differently, maybe you should bring in people who know who
Which job are you asking for?
Well, I'm going to be raking leads over there.
You're going to be hosting an NBA show. A smart coach says, I'm not going to bring in another rookie. I'm going to bring in a veteran coach who can get the people moving. So that's what
Larry Brown's available. Roland, Cornell, Rich.